Congrats to Iman for hitting 1 million subscribers. What is Iman going to get canceled for? Emery Andrew Tate said I was going to steal bread off you, but she's low-key boring and not funny. You can have her, bro. Yeah, give me. She's not boring. Also, she doesn't have to be funny. She's base. She's bread. She's funny. She's funny. Shut up. Laugh at her jokes right now. Take that back.
There is a top secret undeclared war that is going on behind the scenes right now. You see, the last few weeks I found myself investigating something way deeper than I ever would have imagined.
This is crazy. This is some of the craziest growth I've ever seen on his channel. He just hit 1 mil. Chat, when I had him on my collab, it was right before I got banned on YouTube. I think he was at 400K, 500K. He doubled up since then. Crazy. Great job for him, man. I really hope he doesn't get banned. He's the last like real soldier still doing it on YouTube.
You know that feeling when you see something happen in the media, a narrative spread, it's being perpetuated, and it just doesn't sit right with you. Something feels off. You know, as if there was some sort of, I don't know, agenda behind it. Well, that's exactly how I feel about this war against masculinity.
He's based. He got his blue check removed on Instagram for talking about COVID and about how it's a scam. He's woke. He knows the truth about the vaccine, the election, everything. He knows the truth about 9/11. This guy's based. And you know what's funny? I took a picture with him and Jordan Welch after we met. We had dinner. They both got banned on Instagram. That's how much of a blacklist I'm on. You take a picture with me, you get banned. He got it back though. He's based, but like he's really speaking the truth and he's doing it the right way now because he understands the growth and how big YouTube is and the value of this platform. So I don't think he's gonna get banned. I don't think so. I hope not. He won't.
And freedom of speech that's really started to ramp up in the last few months especially. Recently it's gone so bad that it feels like they are trying to silence us by pushing so much BS down on our throats that we nearly asphyxiate and aren't even capable of speaking anymore. And the worst part is all of these attacks seem so specific and coordinated that, you know, I can't help but feel that there may be a bigger story that's not being told. So I've had this fire inside of me recently to start searching for some answers. Why is there a war against people who speak up against the media's agenda?
Hey, shout out to Nick, me, Ye, Tate, Alex Jones, anybody who got banned for speaking the truth. And Iman, please be careful. Do not be next. Congrats on it. Please be careful. Everyone here saying, Iman went to private school. Iman went to private school. Shut up. Shut up. This is the way people use these little sentences and stuff like that to disqualify somebody and not listen. He's a guy, I'm telling you, you could see his whole journey from the fact, what we have in common is we both started making videos when we were 14 and you could just see our whole journey documented on YouTube. Well, RIP, you can't anymore for me, but you could see how he started talking about this and he manifested all this shit. He spoke it into existence. Listen up. This is some guy that you could actually learn. Bro, when he was on my stream, he had 400K. Now he has 1 mil. Obviously, he knows something.
And encourage people to think for themselves. Why is it that only one side of the argument gets silenced?
And then the Soy Boys, the Ethan Declines, all that they get on the front page. Shane Dawson is on the trending page for touching kids.
And lastly, who is behind all of this? All of these questions led me down so many different rabbit holes. And the path that was the scariest was just looking back at the history of our civilization as a whole. And here's why. I found myself reading about the motives and end goals of the ancient Greek wars,
L globalism in the chat,
the Roman civilization, all the way down to World War I and II. And I will say at first I thought I might have been exaggerating by comparing an actual war with guns and bombs and planes to a few social media cancellations and bans. But after really digging deep into the past wars the world has lived through, I have noticed that there is something truly nefarious going on. But what is it and why? What sparked every single one of those wars was the strive for control. It was not the strive for one nation to control another, or the...
They want to make the citizens comply so that they can use all the power that they possibly have. They do this over and over again. That happened after 9/11. I could say 9/11, not 11/9. That happened. They told us that we needed to survey your phones, that we could spy on you, that you need to be completely stripped naked, and they could shove a fucking metal detector up your asshole in the airport. Right after 9/11, they want to keep you as controlled as possible. After COVID, they do COVID passports. They have contact tracing, vaccines. They just want us to be obedient. They use fear to make us more obedient. And they've been doing this over and over again for years.
strive of its people to control their land, but rather the strive of a very small group of individuals to control everything that they could put their hands on, and above all perpetuate such
Yo, Iman, be careful, bro. We need you on YouTube.
control for generations to come. From the Roman Wars to the Cold Wars, there was always a small group of people acting behind the scenes with their hidden motives masked behind false ideals. And that, my friends, is why I call them the puppet masters.
Good thing he didn't say Illuminati on YouTube. Puppet Master.
Everything that happens around you is carefully planned by the puppet masters in control and executed by their puppets that we get to see around us. Now, most people would stop there, but I asked myself, is this really the final answer? The more I thought about this answer, the more questions I had. How do the puppet masters achieve control? And how have a few people managed to control an entire civilization through the course of history?
They use fear.
And this is where things start to get very concerning. It'll be the end of our ability to question things and do what we believe is right for us and the people around us. And if we don't step up and stop this from happening, the next God knows how many centuries are not going to look very pretty for any of us. And that's because since your income doesn't grow linearly, as most people think, it means it will go up and down. And as a result, the closer your expense level is to your income level, the less room for error you have. And it's a very clever trap set up by the puppet masters themselves. Now the fact is, we are in a situation today where the puppet masters are on the verge of successfully implementing their mass control plan. Long story short, the world is falling apart just as the puppet masters want it. Does that really not raise alarm bells for you? So you should have been building this moat, this layer of protection around yourself the last 2 years. But if you haven't done that yet, well, there's actually still one last light at the end of the tunnel.
There's a lot of good information in this course. I assume I haven't watched it, but knowing him. But stuff like this scares people. When you hear this type of information, I don't want anyone watching this to be like, you're spreading fear, you're fear-mongering. What you got to do is make as much money as possible, get in shape, get multiple passports, do not be reliant or dependent on one government. Be careful what you speak about, act accordingly, trust in God, start a family, stock up on food, prepare for all that. That's all you got to do. That's a lot of stuff, and I'm not there yet. The first thing you can do is make a lot of money right now. If you don't know how to make a lot of money right now, you got to realize that online business is the best way to invest into the future. If you can have an online business, it's the hardest business to take away. You don't need a location. It's all virtual. Best way to do it. I teach that in the creativity kit. A lot of the story boys, the YouTube people call it a scam. We had a great call today. There's some people in this chat watching right now. That's the best way to prepare. So when you hear this stuff like this, people are like, why are you going to scare people and not provide a solution? The solution is to get as unkillable as possible. Make a lot of money, get strong, get smart, and don't be wasting your time on indulging in a bunch of desires and playing video games all goddamn day. Stop beating your meat. Just start preparing. Get as strong as possible. That's the only thing you can do. That's the solution. Was that a good deflection for the documentary who are people going to say I'm fear-mongering by talking about conspiracy theories? That was good, right? Iman, you're moving mad though. But I think he's being very strategic with his word. The fact that he said puppet masters instead of Illuminati was genius. This guy will tote the line perfectly to not get deleted off of social media. He will suggest things. Notice how he said the past 2 years instead of COVID? Smart. Smart. He's not saying any of the words. Look, there's no COVID warning on the bottom of this video. He knows how to talk about this.
That's it.
Your job?